This week for Explore Arkansas, we head out of Little Rock. If you're looking for something outdoors and maybe learn a little about the history of this area, there's plenty to explore.
Yeah, Mandy Noell is back in studio to tell us more about the Toltec Mounds in Scott.
Well, you'll learn a lot about indigenous people who lived here in the Little Rock area over 1,000 years ago. You can walk the trails, see original artifacts, kayak when it's warm enough, and even try your hands at the spears they used for hunting. Step onto the Toltec Mounds Archaeological State Park grounds and you step back in time.
The people living here started in about 650 AD at the site and left around 1050 AD.
Each layer of soil tells a story.
There are 18 mounds here at the archaeological site, or used to be anyway.
Over the last 100 years, the smaller mounds were plowed over by farmers, but the dirt still reveals how indigenous people of 1,400 years ago lived.
So this was their ceremonial center. This was their gathering place. They actually lived far off in different places throughout Arkansas, and so they would come here from different parts of the state a few times a year to celebrate.
They worked hard. They lived off the land. They celebrated the stars in the sky. And while they were here, it was like a vacation.
As soon as they got here, that they were going to have fun, they were going to relax, and they were going to celebrate something bigger than themselves.
Of the 3 existing mounds here on the land, this is A. It's the tallest one here. It's almost 50 feet high, and we can't actually even walk on it because it's not fully excavated. There's still artifacts under the ground here. To my left is the second highest. That's B.
We actually found housing remains, or the evidence that there was a house or a temple or some kind of structure on top of it.
A common misconception is that these are burial mounds. The only mound archaeologists believe was used for ceremonial burial is C. They dug up human remains back in the 70s. They find other artifacts everywhere.
Lots of pottery.
And a lot of stone.
Novaculite is a special type of stone that is actually from the Hot Springs region.
It was made into arrowheads, knives, tools, and you can see it in the museum.
We find shell all the way from the Gulf Coast, and we actually find copper from all the way in the region where the Great Lakes are.
Artifacts in the soil help us understand how they lived. Some show us they were very resourceful.
They really knew their aerodynamics back then. Even before science and math, they were good at figuring this stuff out somehow.
And there are 2 trails. One's shorter, paved, and handicap accessible. There's a boardwalk to the lake.
The other one is the Plum Bayou Trail. It goes around the entire site, and it's about 1.5 miles, so hikers really like to come out here.
And there's always something going on for families, for couples, anyone really. There's a calendar of events online. You can learn to make spears when you go out there, arrowhead necklaces sometimes, and there's always celebrations for summer and winter solstices. They've got a lot going on. People think it's just mounds, but it's a lot more than that. You can head to KARK.com and we'll show you where to find it. Back to you guys.